Hi, everyone, and welcome to Internexus San Diego podcast. My name is Brian Whitman, and this is today's podcast. Today's podcast is talking about pandemic and what a pandemic is. A pandemic is nothing to sneeze at. During the mid 1300s, between 75 and 200 million people across Europe and Asia were wiped out by the same terrible disease. The disease was called the Black Death, and it was one of the biggest pandemics in human history. A pandemic is the worldwide spread of a new disease to which most people do not have immunity. Viruses that become pandemics can originate in animals. The Black Death, for example, was caused by fleas that were living on rats. These rats were found on merchant ships traveling to Europe. Many pandemics involve different types of influenza, which is caused by a virus that attacks the respiratory system. Sometimes it is shortened to the flu. The flu spreads quickly because it's highly contagious. The most common types of seasonal flu, which only lasts for a few months, but can be fatal for the elderly or people with weak immune systems. However, the seasonal flu rarely causes a pandemic. The reason is that people can be vaccinated against it. In the 20th century, there were only three pandemics. The most serious of these was the Spanish flu pandemic of 1918. One fifth of the world's population was infected. 50 million victims died. And December 2019, a new type of coronavirus, COVID 19, was found in China and soon began to spread to all countries around the world. On March 11, 2020, the World Health Organization, WHO, officially declared COVID 19 a pandemic. People often panic when a new pandemic is declared. Health officials remind the public that the best way to avoid getting sick is to wash your hands regularly and cover your mouth and nose when sneezing or coughing. They also recommend not touching your face. Some of the vocabulary that we mentioned inside this podcast was merchant. A merchant is a person who sells things from one person to another. The word also, there was a word called contagious. Contagious means that it's easily transferred from one person to another. To wipe out means to kill or destroy. Respiratory means it's related to breathing involving the nose, throat, and lungs. And the word immunity means that it no longer is going to cause harm. So these are some of the vocabulary words that you heard in your podcast. My name is Brian Whitman. I want to say thank you for listening to the Internexus San Diego podcast. And this podcast was about pandemics. Thank you very much.